You just spent 40 minutes solving a real problem, then someone says, "Okay, thanks everyone," and people check their phones and drop off. No decision, no owner, no deadline. This video is about the 2-minute close, a 3-step way to end a meeting with a clear decision, and you can use it in your next meeting. Most meetings do good work in the middle, where the team diagnoses the problem and brainstorms ideas, but then the meeting fades out without a decision because nobody takes charge of the close. The cost is real. This happens because of decision fatigue. When the group has been making choices for 30 minutes, their mental energy drops and nobody makes the final call. The brain lacks a clear endpoint, so no action gets encoded. The middle of the meeting isn't the problem. The close is. Here's why it keeps happening, and the one fix that changes it. The fix is the 2-minute close. It's a simple way to move from talk to action in the last 2 minutes of a meeting. It has 3 steps: recap, decide, and commit. Recap states the decision in one sentence, decide makes the call using a clear process, and commit assigns who does what by when. When you cue the close out loud, you stop the vague fade out where people check out before anything is settled. Let's look at each step in order. Step 1 is recap, and you state the decision on the table in one sentence. Because you aren't summarizing the meeting, you're naming the choice that needs a yes or no. For example, the decision is whether we move the launch to Q2. Now you're ready for step 2. But this is where most leaders make their biggest mistake, because step 2 is decide, and you call for the decision using a clear process. You might say, "I'll hear recommendations, then I'll decide." Or, if the group decides by consensus, you say, "I'm hearing we're leaning toward Q2. Let's confirm. Does anyone see a reason not to move forward?" Then you check for real buy-in, because agreement means nothing if people leave with doubts. Now step 3 is commit, and this is the part that creates action. You name the owner, the next action, and the due date, and you say it out loud so it doesn't turn into follow-up emails. You might say, "Maria updates the timeline by Friday. Tom tells the client by Monday." Then ask, "Anything blocking that?" and set the next check-in only if you need it. The entire sequence takes about 2 minutes. Now let's look at what happens when you use this consistently. A team that uses the 2-minute close ends meetings with clear owners and deadlines instead of follow-up meetings. They build a habit of moving from insight to action. You stop getting those "what did we decide" emails the next day. The team knows what was decided, who owns it, and when it is due. That clarity makes the next meeting shorter. Over time, the team learns that your meetings end with action, and they stop treating meetings as conversations that have no end and no real purpose beyond filling time. Here's how to start. The 2-minute close turns the end of a meeting from a fade out into a decision point. Your homework is to pick one meeting this week and use step 1. Just state the decision on the table out loud. Once that feels natural, add steps 2 and 3. You can teach this to any manager in 10 minutes. Start with step 1 at your next meeting. Just state the decision out loud. That's it. Do it once and see what changes.